the baggage that I bring, PTSD. Like, I'd be on my third marriage at that point, or going towards my third marriage. I've got 3 kids, 2 different women. I mean, I'm just laying it out on the line. Like I am insecure about that. Like, would somebody want me?
What up? It's Three Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, aka Ferg. Join my co-hosts, Buff and Rozzy. Fellas, tell them what's on your mind. Better yet, how was Christmas? Today is the day after Christmas, so let me ask you about that. How was Christmas?
Happy Kwanzaa or whatnot. But
Emoja today. Yeah, Emoja is today.
So, our Christmas was like plain Jane. Like we woke up. Jasmine opened her gifts. We didn't even cook. We tired of cooking because, Tabitha works from home now. So she's like pretty much cooking every day. So decided to take a day off from cooking and got some takeout.
Y'all don't eat leftovers?
Yeah, we eat leftovers. But still, I mean, it's been a lot of cooking going on. So we dropped our gifts off and just watch a bunch of movies. Watch Wonder Woman. Oof.
I'm gonna watch it either tonight or tomorrow.
It's trash.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so
trash.
But that's it, man. Very, very plain Jane Christmas.
Did you get everything you want from Tabby Claus?
We don't do gifts. We stopped doing gifts. We got each other like some stocking stuffers, but we don't really do gifts. And I mean, if I had to say she got a gift, it was them Dior's. So
Yeah, that you weren't getting. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that was last month, though,
you got gifts, you just didn't get them on Christmas.
That was earlier this month, Ferg. Thank you.
Oh, my bad. That was the other gift you got her. What about you, Rozzy?
So is it a just because gift? So if something happened, y'all split, you can get it back because it wasn't like a Christmas gift?
No, but that's a good thought there, bro.
Yeah.
Little game for all the gentlemen out there. If you are proposing and you propose on any holiday, birthday, Christmas, any traditional gift-giving holiday, it becomes a gift. And so if y'all don't work out and you don't actually get married, the engagement doesn't work or something like that, you cannot get your ring back because you gave it as a gift. So that whole idea of I'm going to propose on a holiday, don't do it, bruh. 3 days earlier, 4 days earlier, and get her a small gift on the actual gift-giving holiday so that you can actually have a legal opportunity to say, nope, this was an actual true engagement, promise to marry me, not necessarily a gift. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, one of Z's line sisters got engaged, I want to say either Christmas Eve or Christmas. And that's the first thing that came to my head is like, sucker. Don't you watch enough Judge Judy? Judge Joe Brown? I don't know who does what, but in the barbershop, they always playing one of the Judge shows, and I see that probably at least once every 2 months somebody went for it. Like, yeah, I got it for your birthday. Well, technically, sir. It's like, damn. At what point? I need you to sign. What if you do a clause like, yeah, but I'm gonna need you to sign this, and this. Can you sign? Can they sign for it? Sign off on it?
Yeah. What's that called? It's not a prenuptial. Would that be like a pre-engagement agreement? I need this pre-engagement agreement that I will get my ring back.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm gonna pop the question soon because it doesn't. I don't even know if it's a surprise anymore. Like, do people surprise people by getting engaged?
I mean, by those videos where the girl be saying no.
Touche.
Yeah.
Touche. But the thing about it, with those videos, why would you do it? Because somebody's recording. Somebody's always recording.
Yeah.
But you know me, like I always told Z, like I got a contingency. I'm gonna be so fine. I ain't want to marry no goddamn way.
That don't work. That's like the dudes be hitting on girls and then like try to get the number, and when she turned them down, he be like, well, fine, didn't nobody want your anyway. Like, wait a minute. You 2 seconds ago you wanted her. I
was trying to do it. I'm doing you a favor. But that is better than sitting there with you snotting up looking stupid. You gotta flip the script. Like, you ain't gonna talk about me sitting here looking lame. You're gonna talk about this nigga snapped. So I'd rather have that narrative.
Gotcha.
But what about you, Roger?
Super villain. Hence him being a supervillain. Anyway,
so now I'm a super. So y'all keep continue.
Oh, anti-hero. I'm sorry,
bro,
anti-hero.
Bro, I see what you're doing.
Nah, Christmas was good, man. It was busy. The family swooped in like always, trying to make me feel better. First Christmas without Jen. But I was telling you guys, before we started recording, it felt like that scene in Home Alone where like Kevin's family is showing up and everybody's trying to figure out where everybody's going to sleep, who's taking showers, all that, people running around the house. You got a bunch of kids, dogs running around everywhere. It was crazy. But, now that it's all said and done, we had a great time. I enjoyed everybody being in the house. Had plenty of lasagna. Gigi hooked it up and did her lasagna. I will admit she does make the best lasagna in the family. I will take second best on that. I've got the second best lasagna in the family, but she hooked it up, did that, but today I needed a break, so everybody's gone home. Sophie's in the room with her guitar. She got I actually feel good. She got a Nintendo Switch and a guitar, and she's over there playing the guitar, not the Nintendo Switch.
Is it acoustic or electric?
It's acoustic. So yeah, she's just strumming along. She doesn't want to actually learn how to play it. She just wants to like strum it. And I guess she wants to figure it out herself. So, but she's hitting some notes and, it's not sounding horrible right now. So, I can take it. I'm with it.
Well, that sounds cool, man. Mine was kind of in between the two of you. So, we had a smaller than usual Christmas as far as hosting. I love to cook. And I guess I like to host. Well, actually, I like the idea of hosting until I host. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So my mind is like, it's easy. It was just my family, my wife, my two kids, my sister's household, which includes my sister, my stepmom, my dad, my two nieces. And my cousin was over there too. So not too many people. And that's not a lot for us because usually I have 20, 30 people over. And so I'm like, look, I'm going to cook a pot roast, make some garlic mashed potatoes and some greens. And I have the few things I was going to cook. Call myself being proactive, cook my greens Wednesday, got my pot roast ready to go. I was going to cook it in an Instapot, so even easier. End up buying 2 pot roasts just because I know my family likes to eat. And I'm like, Instapot, pressure cooker, bet, easy. They both couldn't fit in there, so I end up cooking them separately, which was double the work. And then I put together all the stuff, but I thought I put together all the stuff for the kids the night before.
The non-Santa gifts. You were putting together the non-Santa gifts together. Yeah, gotcha.
Of course, the stuff I opened was the stuff that needed to be put together. The stuff that wasn't wrapped. So I spent the morning putting stuff together, cooking. And I basically didn't sit down until, because we were supposed to eat dinner at 2, and knowing my family, I knew it was going to be 2. They didn't get here until 4. But had to cook 2 pot roasts separately. It was just crazy.
Tell me about the Instapot, because every time I've tried to do a pot roast or something like that, like really big in the Instapot, it comes out tough. Maybe I'm cooking it too long or whatever in the pressure cooker. It doesn't come out tender.
Mine was pretty tender. It was falling off the bone, dude.
Oh, nice. So yeah, it's probably me. I just wanted to make sure it was the Instapot. It wasn't the Instapot.
What are you using? What are you using? What kind of marinade or what are you putting in there?
I don't know. I can't remember. Whatever the recipe said.
Okay.
So I think I just said it too long. But if it came out good, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I love the Instapot.
Yeah, it's dope. But and then just having people there and just talking to money. It was just yesterday. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was just good to see the family being together and celebrating something good for a change. But by the end of the night, you're just like, all right, I'm over this. I'm over this. And then I call myself like, well, tomorrow I'm gonna just chill out, relax. Got to run a couple of errands that shouldn't take too long. Boy, was I wrong. Like we were supposed to record today at 4. Actually, my mind, when we said we're going to record today, Saturday, I'm like, okay, maybe we're going to record about between 12 and between noon and about 2. Then I started thinking about all the stuff I needed to do. And I'm over it, and I still got stuff to do.
Take the break, man.
I think I'm ashamed. I might get on this. Might get on some Call of Duty after this. But overall, everything was good, man. Family was good. I enjoyed a good eating. We had plenty of food, a lot of leftovers. But y'all don't do leftovers, huh?
What do you mean you don't do leftovers?
No, you don't.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I'm gonna be eating on this lasagna for like 3 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what we do, man. But I will tell you, Wonder Woman did suck. Buff. I watched that. That was 2 hours of my life. It was so long.
It sounded like it was so long.
It felt long. But Soul was actually really good. I don't know if you've seen that one yet. But it's really good on Disney Plus. So check that one out. It's different than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot of music in it. But it sets the tone, but it's not the forefront of the movie. It's a really good movie.
It's set in New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, set in New York.
I was happy about that because I was like, I bet it's set in New Orleans. Like Hollywood thinks the only place that knows jazz is New Orleans. So I was kind of glad they had it somewhere else for a change.
But when I see the preview, it makes me think it's going to be like really heavy.
No, it's not. It's way lighter than what you think. I mean, it has a heavy.
Yeah, I heard it was
plot,
deep.
I guess.
I heard it's deep.
Yeah, it's a real deep plot, but at the same time, they do it really well. So it's light.
Yeah, I've been trying to stay away from anything deep until after the holidays. But they were watching Wonder Woman. My dad and stepmom were watching Wonder Woman at the house, and I kept trying not to watch it. You know, I'll catch a scene here and there. But I'm like, God, this is the longest movie not to try to watch in the world. But I'm glad I didn't watch it. I'm going to probably watch it today or tomorrow and be with the rest of the world that it sucks. Because I've heard maybe 2 or 3 people say it was good.
Yeah, everybody's like, it's either okay. Okay is the best that I've heard. It's like, I kind of, it was good for what it was, yada, yada, yada. Or it just sucked. Like anybody who's real serious about it says
it's like more of a drama with action in it than an action movie.
If melodrama, maybe.
Okay.
It's like the drama's done over the top. I will say, I put it in the group me. I feel like it was made in the 80s, not just set in the 80s. It has that 80s like super melodrama-y, over the top acting, costume. The costume design was okay, but it didn't have to be set in the 80s, and it wouldn't have mattered. So what I saw, it seemed like they were really trying to pay homage to I guess the Wonder Woman TV show from the 80s or something like that, or 70s, whatever the case may be. Because when I saw it, I just kind of like, that looks like something old girl wore in 1982 or whatever the show came out. But I mean, the fashion was on point for the 80s. Like the fashion was set in the 80s. It really was on point, but it didn't add anything to the movie. Like usually when you do a period piece, the time period is pertinent to the whatever's happening. Hence, Die Hard is set on Christmas Day because that's pertinent for it being a Christmas movie. And
keep trying. Keep trying. I watched some bad movies.
It didn't add to it at all. Like I said, it could have been set. They could have plopped that movie in any time period and it wouldn't have mattered. It just would have changed the costume design. That would have been the only difference in it.
Okay.
I watched some bad movies this week, man. And Wonder Woman was just like the icing. But I was trying to watch all the Christmas movies I saw with black actors in it. I watched Holiday Rush, and I'm still trying to figure out how he was a radio DJ but was rich. Like he wasn't even like a Rush Limbaugh talking person. He just like played music.
Oh, I think is that where like he was about to lose a radio station or some crap? Or?
Yeah. Well, a new owner bought it and then fired him. It just it was terrible, right?
Yeah, that was horrible.
And then I watched Holiday Calendar, which was awful. Like I was so mad at the lead chick and her reason for breaking up with the dude that she was dating, because he didn't believe that the calendar was magical. And he wasn't even like making that much fun of her. He just was like, well, it could be this or it could be that. She was like, why are you mocking me? I don't think this is working. I didn't want her to have a happy ending. I really didn't. I was rooting for her to have a bad ending. And then I think, Rozzy, you told me about Ava. I think you like Ava. I liked Ava for the first half, but I made a post like, I felt like some great writers came in and wrote Ava, and then halfway through, they was like, all right, we about to head out. Y'all got it from here, right? And then the second group of writers like, yeah, we got it. And they f***ed it up. Like the ending was terrible to me. So
that's hilarious.
No, I haven't watched Ava yet. Oh, okay. So I think either Ferg or we just talked about it because we were talking about, I think, Hannah or one of the other ones. No, we were talking about Peppermint. Yeah. And Ava came up. But yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Yeah. So I'll get around to it at some point just to say I watched it.
I ain't either because I was watching a movie. Well, we were had it on in the background. I think it's like almost Christmas or something Christmas. And it was on maybe like 6 minutes. And I don't know why this lady I cannot watch or support any movie she's in.
Monique?
No, well, I just don't do her at all. Kimberly Elise. Kimberly Elise. The TT from Set It Off.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Her
character.
What movies was she in? I don't even know.
She was in that. She's in that. She was in the Denzel where his son was dying.
John Q.
She pissed me off in that one.
Yeah, like she and some. I'm pretty sure she was in a couple of Tyler Perry movies. And it's just like I feel like when I see her, I just get annoyed. Like I'm getting annoyed talking about. Go get freaking Sophie and give me a joke.
Why did you say she might have been in one of the Tyler Perry movies?
I feel like she might watch. She was. I think she's so in
Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I think
exactly. Yeah. Don't know what that's about, but I feel like Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Yep.
For colored girls. Almost Christmas. John Q, The Manchurian Candidate, Death Wish. Her, I don't know. She just.
Do you remember what movie annoyed you with her?
Set It Off.
Oh, okay.
TT just. I don't remember her in The Great Debaters. I actually liked that movie. And she was in Pride.
She's in The Great Debaters? Is she the mom? She must be the mom.
I don't remember. That might be the reason I liked the movie is because I overlooked her being in it.
Dude, that final debate with the young boy against the Harvard team when he was like, we got our star of the show here.
It's the day after Christmas.
Yeah, it is. Happy day after Christmas, Sophie.
What?
Happy day after Christmas.
You too.
That works.
Okay, I got my joke ready.
Okay, go for it.
Why does no one in Antarctica have COVID-19?
Low Antarctica. See it.
Because it's
0.
Because it's cold. I don't know.
Hold on. Social polar bears, social distancing.
Do you guys give up?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's because they're isolated. Because they're isolated.
Love it.
Maybe did y'all see this one? I thought this was a pretty good one. What do you call a wreath of $100 bills?
Oh yeah, I know that one. I'll let Sophie guess it.
Aretha Franklin.
There you
go. See, Sophie, you're good. Daddy cheated on it, but I thought that was a good one. I was going to send it to Rozzy, but I thought we didn't have a lot of time left. Good one, Sophie. Isolated.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to steal your drink.
Go ahead. You can have it. She's stealing my Arby's Jamocha shake.
Yeah. You didn't like the Arby's slander from Three Brothers, Rozzy?
No. I didn't like that post very well. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna try some Arby's, bro.
It depends on what you get. Like,
see, when you have to give a disclaimer, when you have to start with disclaimer, that means I should try it.
Like, even the people that was riding for Arby's,
got some really good stuff on there. But like, don't go there trying to get like the crazy stuff. Because I'm not a fan. Like, the gyro is really good there.
Gyro.
Go ahead. Gyro. Yeah. There's a scene in Soul where they talk about that. They say in America, here in New York, we call it a gyro. So yes, gyro. Anyway, so that is really good. I'm their classic roast beef, like Byron said, it's it's shaved meat. I mean, it is what it is. So you throw some of the Arby's sauce on it and it's good. So, but their French dip is actually really good too. So if you like a French dip, it comes with the dipping sauce, the au jus sauce. So you can do that. It's good too. So any of those. You really can't go wrong.
Well, okay, that makes sense. Well, brothers, it is the last show of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Man, 2020 has been crazy. Let's finish it out. Let's finish out good. So, Risey, last week you went first, and I usually go first. So, Buff, we're gonna let you kick it off today, fella. What you got for us, big guy?
Okay. Is this a first, by the way? Might be a first. Anyway, so you mentioned 2020 is our last show of the year. So my question to you guys is, what is the biggest lesson that you learned this year? Or if you didn't learn anything, what lesson was reinforced this year for you?
I'll go first. Because it's definitely going to be. Where tomorrow's not promised, right? It's take the time to enjoy today. For me that's hard. Being a financial planner, I'm always like the long game, thinking the strategy piece, the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan, the retirement plan, all the ways about the plan and looking forward and stopping and just enjoying the moment. And being present in the moment. So, take the pictures or not. We want pictures to look back on, but at the same time, I think sometimes we try to take too many pictures. We want a picture of every little thing. And truthfully, 1 or 2 pictures, 3 or 4 pictures in a moment or to bring you back to that period is enough. And then at that point, spend time. Smile, laugh, joke, have conversations, enjoy the time that you have together with people, hold hands with your lady, skip. Like, how many times have you held hands and skipped somewhere with somebody? Like, enjoy the moments and the time. Yeah, like Ferg held up a 0. Like, it's have that fun and go back to when you were 14, 15, first dating and just wanting to have fun and not caring. Maybe even earlier than that, because black men, we try to be hard and we grow up real fast. So maybe it was that first girlfriend, that 7-year-old, where y'all were holding hands on the playground or whatever. But go back to that, man. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, live in the present, live today, and tomorrow we'll figure it out from there.
Man, Risey, I agree with everything you said, 110%. Maybe outside of skipping. I don't know about that. But
go skip one day. I'm telling you, it'll make you feel better.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Even with the pictures, it was funny how you hit on that. Maybe too many, and I think that's my thing. I struggle sometimes with because I want to be in the moment. I want to capture those moments. I want to be in the moment and enjoy the moment. And part of me goes against the grain of taking those pictures because I don't want to be part of that group that always has to take a picture, and so I think taking pictures for the right reasons, just like you take it to capture the moment, but you're not looking for that perfect picture. You're not looking for like, okay, we're going to be there for 20 minutes trying to capture a shot so we can post this on social media and the kids sitting there getting, because they're over it,
Mm-hmm.
So. But for me, I think I'm kind of go off of what you were saying. I've heard this so many times, and it finally stuck when the old folks said, "Just keep living," because a lot of times, and I'll speak for myself, you know that things can happen and life happens, but in the back of my mind, I thought those things would avoid me. You know, you hear about that person who, you know, lost a spouse, losing a mother. Like, you hear about these things, and it's two. It's always my cousin's girlfriend's aunt. This happened to them, or my neighbor's brother. This happened to them. But the more you keep living, you realize those stories become your stories. Like, it's when we tell our stories, we're somebody's cousin's brother's aunt. Cool. You know what I mean? Like, those stories, you know, those 2 to 3 degrees of separation, somebody's talking about us. And the same way we were talking about, especially when we were young, and you always heard those stories of things happening to people, and you're like, man, just keep living. And you start seeing these things and realize it. And I started realizing this, but, you know, we're really a part of this thing called life. Like, it doesn't just pass you by. It's, you know, things that happen to other people, good, bad, or indifferent, happen to you. Like, this, how, you know, we talked a while ago about, do we believe that everything happens for a reason in God's plan? You know, I'm not going that deep, but it really is perfect imperfection, because all these things lead to something else. Now, we might not benefit from it. Like, it might not be, we might not see it, but it's going to be, you know, and I talk about the closest thing, and this was 2018 when we lost, you know, Z and I, we had a miscarriage, and it was tough for us to get past it. But then we look at it today, and it's like, man, I couldn't imagine not having my son. Like, I could imagine there being potentially being another kid here instead of this guy. You know, how many times did that happen, you know, throughout history? You know, all the tragedies that led up to us being here this moment. Like, there's a world of tragedies and greatness that led to the current moment that we're in. And it's just that, just keep living, man. Like, it's like, man, you just never know. Like you say, you try to plan for the future. You can plan all you want. You know, things happen. Just keep living. Like, life's going to catch you off guard, for good or for bad. So, but hopefully you're going to tell us something good. Like, you learned something good this year.
So I don't know how good these are, but first off, I love both of you guys' answers as usual. But, you know, this year, I think one of the things I definitely learned is that I can make the tough decision, the non-fun position. In my case, you know, I mentioned on the show how I sold my BMW, and I did it for better financial reasons. And I'm trying to set myself up to do some of the things that we were talking about before we started recording, you know, with what you got going on, Tavares, and just trying to have some additional income. The George Floyd thing hit me. I don't think I still haven't fully articulated how that has hit me. And then when you look at the job that I have, and it's like all of that stuff happened and just made me say, you know, I really want to position myself to where I can depend less on this job and have other income. So if something comes up to where I just can't be quiet about it, like, it was hard to be quiet about George, even though we talked about it on this show. You know, some of you guys listened to the Looting is Bad episode, and we were arguing. That was me held back. That was me held back on some of the stuff I really wanted to say, and I can't because of my position. I don't want to be in that position for much longer. So I want to position myself to have that income to where my job becomes the additional income, and the other stuff I have going on is the major income. And one of the things I decided I needed to do was to sell a big expense that I have, which was the BMW M4. I really, really enjoyed that car, but I was in a position to where I owed a lot less than what it was worth. So I sold it, and my goal is to use that money to invest in other things. So I learned that I can make that type of tough decision.
I'm real quick. I just don't want to not acknowledge the flex.
See, that wasn't a flex. That was not. I don't have it anymore. So it's not a flex.
But it didn't get repoed, so it's okay not to have it anymore. So it's still a flex.
It's not a flex, man. But just that, and and like doing that around the same time I refinanced my car. Like I said it before, the extra monthly, like not income, but the extra money that I have per month now, I am loving it. And Raza, you know this because I just asked you a question earlier today in our GroupMe chat about opening up more money for myself per month. So it's addictive, man. So I'm enjoying that. Another personal thing I talked to you about, Raza, as far as, getting that surgery to where you no longer have to worry about producing kids. I went on and did that because I didn't like some of the effects that the birth control pills was having on Tabitha and the different issues we were having with that. And I felt like that's one less thing she could worry about. And I'm terrified of having surgery, but I decided that the benefit of her not having to go through some of that was greater. And I decided to, go through it. Even though it's a small surgery, I've never been put to sleep before in my life. So that terrified me. I learned that I think it was you, Ferg, that said living. I learned that I can live without my mom. And I mentioned, when she passed, one of the things I said to her was, when I was a kid, I wanted to die before she did because I didn't want to be in a world without her. And I was much, much younger back then, but that's really how I felt at that time. And she passed several months ago, and I'm learning, and I've learned that, hey, it is terrible, it's bad, it's sad, but I have things to live for. I have a daughter. I have a family. I have you guys. I love my friends. I love the life that I have. And, just living with the thought of her looking down on me and being proud is what drives me. So, that's something that I learned I can do. And then finally, the old folks always used to tell me, you never know who's listening. Well, they would say you never know who's watching. And in this case, for me, you never know who's listening. I've talked about the other podcasts I have, Politically Entertaining. I get a phone call the other day, unexpectedly, and it's Tabitha's dad. And Tabitha's dad is a real quiet dude. He's not that personable. He's the one that at family functions, he's sitting to himself because he's just Tabitha has his personality, just shy to themselves, quiet. He calls her phone. She hands me the phone like, who is this? It's her dad. First thing he said, man, I just want to tell you how proud I am of you. And I'm still not knowing what he's talking about. He brings up the Politically Entertaining podcast. He just listened to an episode. He's not on social media. I have no idea. Tabitha said she mentioned it to her mom like over a couple of years ago. I have no idea what landed him on it, but it just was crazy. Like, I thought he was talking about Three Brothers. And, I say some wild stuff on here sometimes. So I was like, damn, I wonder what he heard. But
your daughter ain't shit.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm proud of him. I always wanted to say that about her mama, and I never had the balls to do it. But hypothetically speaking,
that did cross my mind. I was like, which podcast he talking about? So, but that was cool in the sense that it's true. You never know who's listening. And him of all people, to have him call and say that, it meant a lot. And it just one more lesson, like you really don't know who's paying you attention. Like you can think nobody's watching or really listening, that you don't have an impact, but you just never know. And that's why it's important to try your best to carry yourself as best as you can at all times. So a lot of stuff learned, a lot of stuff reinforced, man.
Man, I love that. Even the last part, about the impact, I started realizing that's a big part of me is that impact, and sometimes not seeing it firsthand, but just eventually hearing about it later on. But good answer. Good answer. Hopefully, I don't even know if it's a good thing or bad thing that he doesn't know about this show.
It depends on what episode he listened to. If he check out this show, man.
That's the thing about our show, man. We are all over the place, and we stay all over the place, and I love it. Like we call it barbershop style for a reason, man. Definitely. It's and so I'm gonna go a little left field on this. And I brought it up, I think, last episode or the episode before, and I wanted to bring it back around because you guys sounded interested in who would actually win this title. And so I wanted to ask you guys, we got, Coming to America 2 coming out. So you got Eddie Murphy and that group coming back with some bangers. Of course, Kevin Hart's always got something coming out. Chappelle's back on top. So what would be the new group's king of comedy? So because I don't know if Chappelle would actually be in that new Kings of Comedy group or not, because he's so kind of old, but he's still on top right now. So for you guys, I don't want to lead your answer, so I'm gonna just leave it at that.
You make Chappelle old?
I mean, he's been around. He's been on top for a long time.
But you got to think, like Steve, like when this came out, those were established black comics.
Yeah, Bernie Mac. Yeah.
Yeah, they were, but you got to think, when Kings of Comedy came out, Eddie Murphy wasn't a part of Kings of Comedy. Yeah, and I know Eddie Murphy was the man when it came to comedy, and he was still alive. So
is your question like, who are the 4 comedians that we would want to see, or who do we think out of this new crop of comedians would be the new 4 kings? Because we may not necessarily want to see Roy Woods or Cat Williams. We may still want one of the older guys.
I'll leave it up to you guys.
Okay.
You can go either way on it. But I mean, all of that kind of runs in my head. I'm looking at who the Kings of Comedy, the time they came out, who was out in the market at the time, and how they chose those 4 kings versus how we would do it today. So it could be that you just go with the old guys because they're funnier.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you off top, Dave Chappelle has to be one of my 4 Kings of Comedy. I'm sorry. I'm not putting together a Kings of Comedy tour without Dave Chappelle.
He'll be your headliner.
You know what? He's the Bernie Mac role. Okay. Cause you know how everybody waited for Bernie Mac at the end. So he's going to close the show. So Dave Chappelle is the Bernie Mac role. So Steve Harvey was kind of like the MC. So Chris Rock, he has a lot of experience in hosting award shows and stuff like that, and he can tell a few jokes here and there. I know that some people, Chris Rock has fell off, but he's still one of my favorites. So Chris Rock as the Steve Harvey role. Then I got to think on the other 2. Ferg, jump in there with like 1 or 2 while I think on these other 2.
Well, my Kings of Comedy would be similar so far. So I would definitely have Chappelle on there. Because I'm looking at a tour I would like to see. Like, Nick, you can't miss dog. They don't. To me, it's got to have Chappelle. I'm gonna go with the obvious. I got to put Eddie back on there. Like, I want to see Eddie like with amongst the greats again, because he hasn't done a stand up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see him come back and come out hard. I got 4.
Mm-hmm. So you got Dave and Eddie so far, right?
Chris Rock annoys me sometimes, though. Like I've
heard that.
He's over the top.
His voice,
he's over the top.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna bring it down to Lil Youth, because they did have like, I feel like DL Hughley was the youth of it. I'm gonna throw Kevin Hart in there, dog. I feel like Kevin Hart would actually be, his energy is funny. Like, I feel like his energy bringing out everybody would be hilarious, because I feel like I've heard him speak on the greats. I'm trying to think different styles.
No, I can toss some names out there for you. No Eddie Griffin, no Cat Williams.
I'm leaning towards Cat right now. I'm leaning towards Cat.
I think I got my third. I got my third one, Roger. So D.L. Hughley, even though he hosted Comic View, I think it's safe to say he was the lesser known of the four, because the other, well, he had a TV show too, so maybe not. But
yeah,
in the D.L. Hughley role, I'm gonna go with this guy named Red Grant, and I'm not sure how popular he is, but I've seen him live. He told one of the best jokes that I probably can't repeat on here, but he's funny as hell, man. He's funny as hell. And my fourth one would be Corey Holcomb. It would be Corey Holcomb, but I need him to get some new material because I've seen him like 4 times now, and for the most part, his jokes haven't changed. But if he can get some new material, I'm telling you, Corey Holcomb is a beast. And if you have a side chick, you cannot take her to one of his shows because y'all gonna break up after that. I'm gonna tell you that right
now. He's up there. I might have but Deon Cole is funny as shit to me. I don't know if y'all with him, but Deon Cole is hilarious. And I would love to see him get that stage next to, I think being on a stage with Eddie, freaking Chappelle, and Kevin Hart would elevate his game to the next level. Like, I think that would be his breaking out, and you might see and hear some of the funniest comedy in the last 10 years. Because that dude is just...
So this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I got Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Red Grant. I got Corey Holcomb if he has new material. If not, then I'm gonna go. No, I can't pick Cat Williams. Damn it, I can't pick him.
Why you can't pick him?
Well, he might not show up.
I mean, first off, he might not show up. His last couple of stand-ups haven't been that funny, but like his first 3 are hilarious. And then, he had some allegations against one of our classmates that I don't ride with. So
yeah.
Can't. So you know what? Corey Holcomb for now. That's my 4 with the reserve. I reserve the right to change Corey Holcomb if I think of someone else. That's my 4.
All right. So mine, I'm going to go with Chappelle, but I'm going to put Chappelle in the Steve Harvey role. So I'm going to have him bringing everybody out, coming in, kind of calling the shots, dropping a couple of dimes in between. And so he would run the show.
Like he did Chappelle's show. Like he did his, yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Gotcha. So I got Chappelle in that spot.
I might be see that because I had Eddie. I had Eddie as a closer.
All right. So then I'm bringing, and so what I'm doing is I'm matching like personality for personality as well as comedian. So I'm bringing in Trevor Noah for DL because he had a little bit more consciousness. He's funny. I mean, his delivery is about the same. So I like Trevor Noah. So if you guys don't watch The Daily Show, for him taking over for Jon Stewart, that right there was a huge thing anyway. So I respect him for that. I like his stand-ups. He adds a little bit of African flavor to it because, he's from South Africa, so you get a little bit of that with it. So Trevor Noah for me is the DL of the group. I am going to go with Deon Cole for the Bernie of the group, right? The just say whatever that comes to mind, and it's just hilarious. So Deon Cole for me is the third. And then the said entertainer type thing, I am going to go with Kevin Hart for that energy. His whole left side might be hurt for real. Like Kevin Hart would do a little bit of that shtick and the flopping and just riding around. But I see Kevin Hart in that 4th role bringing in. But now I don't know who would actually close it out because I feel like Deon Cole is a little too slow. But Bernie was a slow delivery guy and he closed it out. So I'd probably put Trevor as that tail to close it out. Put Kevin to bring that energy up. Trevor to kind of let it ride.
Kevin close the show?
No, man, no.
Trevor is the last person. Trevor hasn't earned the right to close the show. I'm just put it out there.
This is his list.
Trevor's going in the middle. That's why I said I think Deon. It's hard though, man, because like that slow delivery is hard to close out a show and hit home. So I don't know. We'll let the producers figure out who needs to go in what order. But that's my 4. I got Chappelle, Trevor Noah, Deion Cole, and Kevin Hart.
All right, at Ferg, you got Eddie, Dave, and Kevin.
And to think about it, like I'm on the cusp. I'm on the fence with Eddie because I just feel like I wonder how great he's gonna be again. Like
Eddie ain't did a stand up.
That's what I'm saying.
80s.
Like that's my thing. Like he's coming back, and you want to see it. If it's, you know what?
If he comes back, I want his own show. I don't want him. I want.
Okay.
Eddie.
I'll take Eddie off. Let me take Eddie off.
Yeah.
Oof. So that leaves Corey Holcomb is funny. I'm looking at. I just don't think Trevor. No, for me, Trevor won't fit, but he's good. I would have never thought of him. Could Cat do it? No.
Can't pick Cat.
Yeah, we don't.
We can't pick Cat. Yeah. Cat has crossed the team, so is
you got banned.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the show though.
I was gonna say I still love the joke about the tiger. I still love that joke.
You had orange link.
They punished the tiger for being a tiger.
You know what? He hasn't done a stand up in years either. But people sleep on Jamie Foxx stand up. Like
Jamie's hilarious. Yeah,
Jamie Foxx stand up was that motherfucker. Africa. That had me. Who were yours again, Rozzy? Trevor,
Chappelle, Trevor, Deion Cole, Kevin Hart.
You didn't give me much to go off of.
I mean, you can just agree.
I can't get Trevor.
Concede and be like, Trevor, you got it. I had longer to think about it because I've been thinking about this for the last 2 weeks. I like
for that new and up and coming role, maybe like Hannibal Buress. Not Hannibal Buress. Oh man, what's the dude's name? Lil Rel or somebody. Lil Rel or somebody.
Yeah, or Roy Wood. Don't sleep on Roy Wood either. Like, he's hilarious. And he's from Birmingham, so love that part of it.
Don't forget, speaking of Alabama, don't forget Ricky Smiley.
Yeah,
Ricky Smiley the same. He gonna black band and Precious and old church laid us to death.
Exactly.
That's messed up, man. Okay.
So my fourth spot is gonna go for it's open.
It's open.
I'm leaving my fourth spot open.
So you holding auditions?
New and up and coming. Yeah, new and up and coming.
So Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx, and open.
No, Dave Chappelle, Deion Cole, Kevin Hart.
Okay.
Are my 3. And then that 4th spot.
Just go and say Trevor. We can go ahead and we can.
Nah.
Unanimous consent.
I'll do Chris Rock before Trevor.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. I guess
because I just feel like he's a true comedian and he's earned that spot. Trevor Noah is a comedian, but I feel like he's a comedic personality.
My thing is he had the opportunity because he was bigger than the Kings of Comedy when the Kings of Comedy came out.
Yeah.
Who, Trevor Noah?
No. Dang. What's his name? Chris Rock. Yeah. Chris Rock was bigger. You got to think Chris Rock was bigger than any of the Kings. So like he had that opportunity then.
Barton, you ain't gonna say this is list? Like when I critique his stuff, it's like, well, here's his list.
Well, I think he's trying to help you. You know,
yeah, because you're undecided. Yeah. I mean, if you weren't undecided, I wouldn't.
So we're unanimous on Dave Chappelle, and then after that, it's a lot of differences.
Yeah. Well, Rising, I got 3 out of 4. Yeah, he just want me to get Trevor Noah.
So why did you cancel Jamie Foxx?
I just haven't seen anything from him lately. You know what I'm saying? Like he hasn't done any comedy lately. Same reason I can't put Eddie there. Like I just haven't seen them be relevant. You know, that's my thing. I want to see
on the comedy stage. Yeah,
I want to see. Man, in the last year or 2 years, they came with that fire. Like even. Luckily, Kevin Hart has 87 specials, and he bombed the last one. Ooh, he bombed the last one.
Oh, you watched it?
Still make him the king. That's 2. Let me see what we got. Let me get one more for us. So yeah, my question. We made a post today about baggage. So the post goes, everyone you meet will come with baggage. Find someone who loves you enough to help you unpack. And we got a lot of mixed reviews on that, which isn't surprising. We get mixed reviews on everything. But what were your thoughts, fellas?
I was a little...
Hold on. What's your thought on the response? What's your thought on the post itself? What are your thoughts on the post? And what are your thoughts on the response? Sis.
So the post itself, I thought was a really good post, man. And it's true. It's a very true post. But I think where the post went, if you want to say wrong, is the type of baggage that it listed. And for those that didn't see it, it's a woman and a man. He has a bunch of bags behind him that are labeled like toxic X, trauma, things like that. She has a handful of bags behind her that are labeled, anxiety or, all kind of different baggage things that that people carry around. And the post said, everybody you meet will have some baggage. It's important to find the person that'll help you unpack it. I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the exact quote in front of me. But I think what the post went wrong is it labeled like the more extreme baggages. And so I think when people saw those, those are the type of things that, we tell women, hey, these are some red flags, so you may not want to pursue with this person. So you can't tell people these are the red flags and then you make a post with some of those red flags and expect people to be empathetic about it. I think it should have listed some lesser baggage things like, I don't know.
Like the ones they have for the female, the anxiety or, light depression, those are things that you help a guy through, right, or you can help us, a partner through. But when you talk about like domestic violence as baggage, I'm pulling it up now. Crazy baby mamas, like that, those things are grating. Those things are hard, overbearing, mother, where to the point where, the husband or the guy can't go a day without talking to his mom and got to clear everything with his mom before he talks to you. And he's basically in a relationship with his mom. And that's a little bit too far towards, partner versus mom, son stuff.
So the brother,
the jump the broom thing.
The brother, his baggage is trust issues, mental trauma, stress, toxic ex, insecurities, depression, secrets, fear, and one of them I can't tell, like it's porn addiction.
Porn addiction.
Yeah, porn addiction. So he got all those bags, and the sister just got anxiety, childhood trauma, and heart on sleeve. So,
see, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
So,
my biggest problems are wearing my heart on my sleeve.
Yeah, but come on. But you get with an insecure, depressed person that has secrets and trust issues. That's a pretty bad recipe because those are the type of things that can, I don't want to be absolute, but those are the things that can lead to abuse. Those are the things that can lead to a controlling person. So I think the post itself listed some things that, hey, if you have that type of baggage, you're not ready for a relationship. You need to find a professional to help you deal with these issues. Go ahead.
So that's a good point. So for the sake of argument, let's take the feeling of the post, the true intent of the post, mm-hmm, and make it equal. So I think one thing we can take from it is there's difference in baggage and red flags. So this post would be very good to show, hey, there's red flags that you can I'm not about to jump in and help you through this. Like you need professional help, and everybody could use professional help. So let's not make that a bad thing. But let's say they both have regular baggage. Let's take I think trust issues I think a lot of people have trust issues, mental trauma, stress. Take the toxic ex out and the porn addiction. Because I think insecurities, like his insecurities could be about his job, his status, and like it doesn't have to be over the top. But let's say everybody has baggage.
Yeah.
And I got from it is like people are acting like they don't have baggage.
And I'm with you on that. I'm like, the reaction that we saw, I'm like, what I got from the post is, hey, everybody's we all fucked up. We all have some type of baggage. And what one person, can deal with, they don't mind helping you through it. Another person, that may be too much for them. And I felt like the post was saying, look, since everybody has issues, find you the right person that's going to love you through those issues, help you through those issues, and make a dope relationship. But I think people keyed in on the exact items listed in the post and made their own assumptions, like you said, to the extreme levels of it. It's like, oh, nope, not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, like y'all say, everybody has their baggage and their insecurities and everything that they have to deal with. And I like how the post said you have to decide what you're willing to help them unpack. There are certain things that you might be like, nah, once we get into this, I can't help you unpack that one. You need to get professional help, and then we can continue this. Others may be that, hey, as long as you continue to work on it, going through therapy, I'm going to be a listening ear for you to continue to work through it. I'm going to help you out. That's how relationships are born out. Everybody has those. And if both parties came in completely perfect, it would be boring. Truthfully, your relationship would be boring. Those insecurities, those imperfections, that baggage and working through it is what kind of cements your relationship together and make you guys one. So I definitely think you have to be ready to go in and help that person through that baggage and accept or be open and say, I don't accept it and dip, before you guys get too deep into it. So I wasn't taken aback by the people that were saying, nope, not for me. They're not ready to take on that, but really they're just saying that I'm not ready for a relationship right now. Because like we said, everybody has some type of baggage. You're just saying
I am. A lot of them think they are though.
I think
that's a lot of people. They think like, well, don't bring all that to me. Like, my bad. Continue.
Yeah, for me, if I ever decide to really, really get back in the dating game and get back into a relationship like mindset, it's going to the baggage that I bring, PTSD. Like, I'd be on my third marriage at that point, or going towards my third marriage. I've got 3 kids, 2 different women. I mean, I'm just laying it out on the line. Like I am insecure about that. Like, would somebody want me? So, like let's be honest about it. It's that idea of, everything that I bring, all the baggage, all the broken body, my back is messed up, from the Army. It's like all these different things is baggage. And so somebody, if they are willing to take me on, they're going to have to be ready to deal with all that baggage. And I understand that there's women out there that don't want that. And that's cool. It is what it is.
You really brought that home, because if you just wrote that down on a sheet of paper, I think there are a lot of women that will run away from it. He has 3 kids by 2 different women, and he would be
married twice.
He would be on his third marriage, but not having the details of, his first marriage, he was extremely young, like almost right out of high school. And then the second marriage, he lost his wife. And so those are the details that get left out just reading the stats. So you brought that home with that. That's a great point, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things. And
you are universally known. You're universally known as a great dude. So, like, just listing that stuff on the paper, the women that would run from that, what I'm saying, just going off of that,
they'd be missing out on a great guy. Yeah.
But they're not even that. People will fail to see that as baggage sometimes. They will feel, they don't think you have baggage. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has baggage. Baggage does not necessarily equal burden.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I was gonna try to make it personal. Like, let's get there. Like, when we were going through premarital counseling, Z and I, they had this conversation about baggage, and they were saying you need to put your, a lot of times they had a demonstration where people had, and even in this, they have the baggage behind them. And this is where people go for it, is because they don't see the baggage. All I see is you. Like we were talking about, you're trying to be perfect. You have that perfect, boring relationship. This is one of the reasons you want to get married to them. They're not insecure because you're dating them and you give them all the attention. You've been dating for a year and a half and everything. You're still in that honeymoon phase. But we've been married for 2 years. You had a kid. You put on a little weight. You think he's going to the gym to work out for other chicks, or you think she flirts too much. She goes out, like those insecurities. Like there's things that like you have to bring as many of those things to the forefront, because believe it or not, you listen to baggage that you know.
Mm-hmm.
We have baggage that we haven't unpacked yet. We have baggage that hasn't arrived. The stuff we don't even know about. The longer I've been married, the more I realize there's things about me that I'm working through. And what our church, the group we were with, they're like, believe it or not, after you get to that first level of baggage, and sometimes going to take longer to unpack, but when you get to that first level of baggage, you're going to keep finding more and more baggage. And part of that is a good thing, because they're bringing stuff that they didn't even know. They're so comfortable being with you that they are able to let that guard down, and stuff that came from they didn't know they had trust issues. They didn't know they had mommy and daddy issues. They didn't know the things they went through to make them the person they are today. They're still dealing with. Like, every time we talk on the show, it's like I'm having a revelation about something going on. Even this show is therapeutic to me. We talk about how therapeutic the show is. We're unloading a lot of our baggage because we're in a, even though we have hundreds of people that can hear this for the rest of our lives, we're recorded saying this stuff. There's a level of comfort within each other. And even with our listeners, I don't know how we got there, but we unload that baggage for people. And that's the same thing that happens in relationships. Like, man, when I started dealing with Z, there were some insecurities that she had. And I'm like, you have no reason to be insecure. Like, I'm 100% in this. I'm 100% committed and stuff. But it took time to work through that. And she didn't know where it came from. And we started seeing it was relationships with within her family that she saw, that she didn't understand, had an effect on how she dated and how she saw being married and stuff like that. Me as a husband, I've seen this 1,000 times. I didn't know what it was like to be married. I didn't know what it was. I've never seen a successful marriage. I've never seen things like this work out. And even my financial status now, like I'm in a new financial status, and that's coming with things. Like it's coming with baggage that my insecurities and me pre-planning and potential anxiety and stuff like this. Like I'm unloading that now because, and I talk to my wife and my counselor about that and you guys about it all the time. Like I'm dealing with, false guilt a lot, that baggage it affects our relationship to a certain extent, but I'm so comfortable with what I have that I'm blessed enough to be able to unpack that baggage. Like that's a godsend when you have somebody to be able to help you unpack that. Like it's not a negative thing. It's not necessarily a burden. It's, man, I found that one person after being alive for 40 years that I feel comfortable enough that I can unload stuff I didn't even know I had back there. And we got to stop, getting on our high horse thinking we're the catch all the time. Like that anxiety that she has in that little cute little bag could be the deal breaker. We're worried about his porn addiction, but I just deal with a little anxiety and I wear my feelings on my shoulders, my heart on my sleeve. Okay. Doesn't sound like much, but that could be the deal breaker. That could be overbearing. That could be all this stuff, Man, we keep living. You realize we all, like Byron said, we all messed up.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. That's my 2 cents on that. I think that baggage thing is huge, and we can't stray away from it. You gotta put it up there at the right time. Like getting on a plane, you got to start weighing that stuff out early. Like, look, I can't deal with that. Or you don't want to find out too late. But
yeah, and we want to make sure that we're letting you guys that differentiation of the normal baggage of a person that you're walking into a relationship and those red flags. Look, if he got 2 DVs and he throws something at you one time, you might need to leave. It's time to go ahead and get out before it starts to escalate. Those types of things. So we're not saying stick around through the domestic violence or the verbal abuse or whatever. That is not what we're saying at any or by any means.
No.
What we're saying is normal life. Normal people have issues, and you don't want to just cut them off because of the normal issues.
Yeah. Because if you start really looking at it, a lot of us grew up in single parent households. So we've never seen people be married. And we talk about we want to be in relationships. We've never seen people work through issues. Our parents raised us the best they could. A lot of them with limited resources. We have way more resources, and some of the things we dealt with as a child, I want my kids to see. I got to teach my kids to grind, or I don't want my kids to struggle. Like, we're still dealing with that. We're dealing with childhood trauma, like things that made you stay up at night, wishing daddy was there or wishing mommy didn't have to do this. Those things still affect you. We all deal with stuff. And we don't know how it's going to come out. We think we're over it. Once again, my plug, and I tip my hat to you, Razi. I think everybody that can listen to this podcast, go look at your benefit plan. Go see how many free counseling sessions they have. Just go to the free ones. Do me that favor. Just go to the free ones. They're not going to make you talk about anything you don't want to talk about. Now is the time. Most companies are giving away. We've gone to so many and we haven't paid yet. We're shocked. I'm like, run the credit card. He's like, you still got free sessions. I don't know how, but they're still paying for them. And I'm like, okay, but invest in yourself. I really recommend it. It's for somebody who thought they not had it all together, but someone who thought they had a good grasp on things. I've had so many revelations in the last year, just talking it through with a professional that's been cleansing, therapeutic, led to great conversations with me and Z. It's try it. I'm done.
Good question, man. Good question.
Hell of a final show for the year, man.
Yeah. Well, let's do our parting shots. One thing I do want to hit on, Razi, we didn't talk about this earlier. So I don't even know how we didn't open with this. So we had a drawing for a PS5 a week ago. And I'm going to let you take that away, Razi, since y'all kicked me off the...
Fur couldn't get on, and I had to work. I mean, the timing couldn't have been worse, but
it was so bad, man. I'm sitting there like, trying to like figure it all out, and I'm working IT at the same time, so like I'm trying to do the production piece of it, and
he kicked me out the chat, people.
You left.
Y'all keep telling me it was my show, and I'm like, no, it's not my show. I can't even be on the damn chat.
So, but no, shout out Tiasha Hamilton, shout out. And I will say, man, the definition of a good friend and great teacher mentor, she re-gifted the PlayStation that she won to a friend of hers that one of the kids in her class, she's a elementary school teacher, I think. One of the kids in the class had an older brother, and they ended up needing one, and so she literally took a $500 piece of equipment, and just like we gave it away, she gave it away as well, and that's huge, so that one of her students would actually be able to take advantage of the PlayStation. So awesome job to her. Shout out to her, Tiasha. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all the work. Thanks to everybody for all the shares, all the likes, all the conversation. It was huge. I ran through the numbers. And we reached over 7,000 people from that single post. So it was a big deal for us. And, you know, hopefully we can make it an annual event, man, and we can give something away next year. Probably won't be a PlayStation. You know, we not that big, but hey, maybe we'll make it that big and we can give 2 PlayStations away or something. I don't know. I'm gonna speak.
I was gonna say I'd like to be able to give away multiple gifts. Like we bought the one big gift, but I'd like to have at least 2 or 3 winners if possible, depending on what we decide to give away next year. But that was extremely fun, man. And to keep it PS5 related, I want to just give a shout out to Bird, who has been a guest on our show. I was able to get one and make sure she got it on time for her son for Christmas. Valerie McQueen, also, I was able to help her get one. And his reaction, like anybody who knows her on Facebook, his reaction, man, was like the best that you could hope for. And also Danielle, when I told you guys how I was able to secure one at GameStop, I just like sent the people that I knew was looking for one. I just said, go to GameStop now. Like that's it. So she like sent her husband to go grab it real quick. So we jokingly, well, not really jokingly, because sometimes we be for real when we say F them kids. But when it came down to it, I kind of looked out for some of the kids, but I just appreciate the grind that the mothers were showing. So it really wasn't about the kids. I just appreciated that grind because I saw firsthand how hard it was to get that video game. And to hear like Valerie say like, man, I was up at 4 a.m. on my desktop, like refreshing the screen. I was like, dang. So the people that I was following on Twitter, they put the information out there and I shot it to them. So all 3 were able to get one. So I'm happy for them. I hope the kids really enjoy the game. That's all I got. Other than that, Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for rocking with Three Brothers No Sense. Please continue to rock with us. Tell your friends about us. Get some merch. We got them hoodies. You know what I mean? We got them hoodies. If you listen to our 12 Days of Christmas list, the 4th day was 4 Three Brother hoodies. So get you some hoodies, get you some sweatshirts, all the merch that we got, threebrothersnosense.com. Thank you guys for rocking with us.
Definitely. I want to shout out real quick. Y'all know Coming to America 2. We talked a little bit about that. If you guys don't know the story behind that, my cousin actually, Rico Knight, was the one that launched the interest in Coming to America 2. So he made a fan flyer and it went viral. And that actually sparked a lot of the production interest and everything and got everybody kind of working on that. And yesterday or the day before, I think it was 2 days ago, he actually went viral again with taking Macaulay Culkin, the adult, and putting him on one called Stoned Alone. And so instead of Home Alone, and that one went viral. And so guys, just make sure you go follow him at Rico Knight, RICOKNIGHT, or his actual business page at Tulit Graphics, 2LIT GRAFX. So hit him up, man. You'll get some good graphics in there. And if you need any type of graphic design stuff, album covers, things like that, hit him up, man. He's a beast. So that's all I got for it.
Well, it's been a hell of a 2020. Thank you guys for rocking with us. It was a crazy week for me. I had blast. So I want to thank everybody who followed us, and we did a lot with the PlayStation 5, my fraternity brothers, the Brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. We did a lot of community service as well. 2 that I mentioned were the virtual day party. So we had a lot of people tune into that. We were able to raise a couple $100. We raised almost $2,000 to go, I think, Christmas Eve. Went out and fed over 20 families where we were able to just purchase their groceries. Unsuspecting families, just basically meet them at the register and just buy their groceries. I mean, we had families, we had people cry, we had people laugh. It just made a lot of people's days. We also do our annual Shekinah project where we fed over 200 families in the Houston area. So please keep giving, follow us. If you see those posts, that's usually me pushing that. I really try to push service with a purpose. and impact. So please get into some community service once things clear out. If you miss giving and giving community service, keep on the lookout. I'll definitely have things for you to donate to. But Three Brothers No Sense, thank you guys for listening. We're almost at 16,000 listens. We've been doing this about a year and a year and a half, year and 4 months, something like that, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, a little bit over. Yep.
Yeah. So really appreciate you guys. Close to 16,000 listens. We should have it, I would think, probably in the next show or two. So thank you.
One more thing. You wanted to give her a shout out. Waukesha, the hot cocoa joints.
Oh, the cocoa bombs.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Waukesha, thank you.
Yeah. Check out Remixed, I think.
Yes.
Is Remixed by Waukesha?
Yeah. Yes, the hot cocoa.
And Waukesha, I'm about to cuss out the postal service because I see that it made it to Maryland December 21st. There's no reason why they shouldn't be here by now. I checked the tracking. They should be here by now, so I'm about to send them a very nasty email. They probably took my product. They took the cocoa bombs and used them for themselves, but we about to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, because
man, when you moving weight, you just got to notice something ain't gonna make it. That's how it goes.
Yeah, man.
What's that, shrinkage?
Snowfall's coming back.
Like that?
Speaking Snowfall's coming back soon too.
Yeah, Snowfall's coming back. Yes.
Man.
But in my anti-hero fashion, I can't give you guys too many props. I'm pissed off that nobody knew the 6 rules of podcasts.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
I think Ambrosia or Allison got the most, I think.
You got to think. 2 L's, 2 S's, comment, and listen again. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. See you next year. Three Brothers No Sense. We out.